Former Exxon Mobil CEO Rex Tillerson is on Capitol Hill Wednesday in advance of next week's confirmation hearings for the post of Secretary of State. One topic likely to be broached, the $180 million retirement package promised by Exxon to break financial ties with him in anticipation of his new government role. But the payout will likely still face some criticism. Joining us to discuss is Wall Street Journal U.S. News editor Glenn Hall. Hi, Glenn. Great to see you. So $180 million. It sounds like a whole lot of money, but it's still $7 million less than he would have otherwise received. Is that right?
Well, look, I think that amount of money is not what anybody is quibbling about,
no.
Right? I think the challenge for Exxon and for Rex Tillerson has been to figure out how to allow him to proceed through this nomination process and not be beholden to the company, but still be paid out what he earned as chief executive, or at least what his contract promised him.
So it does sound like a whole lot of money, but you say this is the going rate for a good CEO.
Look, a lot of very big CEOs command very big price tags today, and Rex Tillerson is among that group.
Right.
And right now, the challenge is really just can he keep what he has earned, and can he, as a businessman, much like Donald Trump, be allowed and confirmed by the Senate to take on this role, because people are worried about the conflict of interest that he might have, not just that money, but his former ties to Exxon and so forth.
Sure. So what are some of the criticisms, though, that this payout specifically could likely face?
Well, this is the question of how much is he then going to owe Exxon, right? Because, the money comes from Exxon. Will he feel in any way compelled to look out for Exxon's best interests and so forth?
Sure.
And look, I think that there are legitimate concerns about, any kind of business ties that may be held by members of the cabinet. But at the same time, you have to consider at this country, how do we get the best people with the best experience into government?
Right.
And this is the challenge that Congress is confronting right now.
Absolutely. Well, what are some of the specific details of this payout? It's going to be spread out over a 10-year period, is that right? And does he also face penalties if he does invest in the oil and gas business?
Right. So the way it's structured is to sort of mimic the 10-year vesting period that he would have otherwise had for these shares. They put them in, they allow him to divest and sell them into the blind trust. The blind trust would not be allowed to invest in Exxon, and Rex Tillerson would not be allowed to participate again in the gas and oil industry until that 10-year period had expired. Or if he did, after leaving the government, he might then forfeit money in this trust.
Very interesting. Now, as you said, this is a big challenge for Congress right now, and it's not the first time this challenge is going to come up. There are some other nominees who are likely to face similar scrutiny. Wilbur Ross.
That's right.
Billionaire banker. We also there's also Gary Cohen, who was the former second-in-command at Goldman Sachs. So we're likely to hear a lot of big numbers on Capitol Hill in the days ahead.
That's right. There are many billionaires. There are many people with big experience in private sector. And this is a test case because we've never seen a cabinet with this many of those types of individuals with potential conflicts related to their prior business ventures before being tapped for government. Donald Trump himself falls into that category, and we still don't know exactly how he's going to disassociate himself from his own business entities and ties.
Absolutely. It will be very interesting in the days ahead. Glenn Hall, thank you so much for that.